2020, Kenya suffered 2 waves of locust invasions that heavily damaged crops around the country. At the same time, COVID-19 related economic and health crises in the country were growing. In response, the Kenyan government announced a so-called smart climate agriculture program to tackle the emergency, which involved an increase in the use of toxic chemical fertilizers. The government relaxed the already loose regulations around toxic pesticides, with devastating consequences to farmers' health and livelihoods.
And based on the findings, we found out that there's a majority of Kenyans who are still using the banned chemical pesticides that have been banned in the UK or Europe, but are being imported into Kenya. So the question that we're asking is, if a chemical pesticide is banned in the UK, it means it has got health problems. It means that it can also affect Kenyans. Why is it that the Kenyan government is still allowing importation of these banned chemical pesticides that have been banned in Europe and in the UK?
The UK produces and exports thousands of tons of dangerous toxic pesticides or agrotoxics to the global south each year, including many which have been banned for use in the UK.
When the soil is healthy, the human beings, the animals will also be healthy. Chemical fertilizers destroy our soils. Chemicals that are in them, when they get reverted into the soil and then they get consumed, they cause a lot of diseases.
Tumeshakubali ukulima ndogo ndogo ambaye tunataka kuchunga miili zetu. Kwa sababu tukikula hii maneno ya GMO, hii dawa ya kienyeji ni mzuri sana. Miseo kwera.
Baba.
Karibu bwana. Karibu yawa.
Sikuwa nimekutana na kina David na hii group ya KBL. Sikuwa naamini hiyo kitu. So baada ya hiyo nikaenda nikapewa mbegu kidogo na mama ya David huko mahali inaitwa Mariwa. Akaniambia, mtoto yangu, enda panda hii, utakuja kuniambia.
Nairobi huwezi pata maji safi kama hii. Kwa sababu unapata kuna zile makampuni zinatengeneza chemicals, zinamwaga hiyo chemical kwa maji. Hiyo maji ni wakulima wanatumia kumwagia mboga. Unajua nikwambie, hii mboga ilipopandwa ilikuwa ndogo sana. Inamea kwa sababu inachukua hiyo maji na kila kitu kwa udongo. Kwa hivyo it means that those companies ambazo zina manufacture chemical pesticides and chemical fertilizers, they are the ones who are responsible for climate change.
The chemical fertilizers and the herbicides they are bringing here in Kenya are causing a very grievous danger to the lives of the Kenyans. The fertilizers that they are bringing in are degrading our soils. They should stop.
Wengine wanasema wameshikwa na ulcers, wengine kichwa, tumbo. Tunajifunza jinsi ya kufunza watu jinsi ya kutumia organic kwa mashamba zao na wawache ile ya GMO. Tunataka turudi kama zamani, kwa sababu mababu zetu walikuwa wanatumia hiyo organic ya ng'ombe, mbuzi.
All those things are locally available. So I'm going to try on that.
Life example ni hapa kwa shamba yangu. Kuna wakati nilikuwa naweka mbolea kabisa ya duka. CN, urea, hii ya kupika ni ya dudu, mboga inakuja hivi. Na hata mimi nilikuwa nawaja sehemu kidogo siweki dawa. Ninatubu kwa hiyo kabisa kwa sababu ninaua watu wengine alafu mimi ni unaona. So nikatumia hiyo madawa ya duka ya kununua. Ikafika wakati shamba ikakata. Nikipanda mboga kidogo inakuja inakuwa yellow, inakauka kwa sababu changa imekuwa poison.
Warren Want's partners, the Kenyan Peasants League, are creating new organic alternatives to toxic pesticides while opposing their import from Europe. Food production crises, such as that in Kenya in 2020, are exacerbated by global south countries' high dependency on expensive imported agricultural products such as pesticides and fertilizers. This dependency creates a structural inequality that makes overcoming food crises more difficult. Addressing this dependency is crucial to building food sovereignty.
We are working on how to make a very good organic pesticide. Shake it properly, shake it well until it becomes a very clear solution. You shake it even for 30 good minutes. This one is now ready to be used in our farms.
Katigo kode a lot, kudi ni matho, a lot beya. Wapona obok ne moka bifulo nyinge. Gino boka dik, abiru tamoyo to tuo. To kose tuo tawange. Kase wange kura ole ka.
We believe it is a very great step forward for us as KPL to have one of our members who could actually do that.
Imane odoma. Kata sani kuchunga mo manya kudi ni machama lot ni. Achia en monobok. Mano Nyasaye mukeli ya kura na kia kaka. Anano na ka afuenyo kudi ni manie ita lot kata kudi ni manie chunyo doma. Mae maneno kunego maler nyakate chunya poyo. Mae maneno kunego na maler to manie ilo to kasepe mo mange.
Number one, it is going to help our people a great deal because it is made from the locally available materials that are environment friendly, and not only environment friendly but easily available for use. In Mulo and Mariwa we tested it on fall armyworm and it cleared it.
And this is part of a broader campaign that is advocating against or for banning of importation of harmful chemical pesticides from the UK, like paraquat, for example, which is sold in the local market as Gramoxone. When we are saying we ban, we must have alternatives. And that's what this project is all about, to build alternatives to chemical pesticides, to chemical fertilizers, and to the industrial seeds. We intend to use the test results to lobby both government and non-governmental organizations to push for large-scale production of the organic pesticide.
Another major threat to food sovereignty in Kenya is the control agricultural corporations wield over access to seeds. Again, in this area, the Kenyan Peasants League are building justice-based, environmentally sound alternatives.
You cannot achieve the other without doing the other. The moment you can't bank your seed, then you cannot grow your food. You'll be growing food from Monsanto, you'll be growing food from Syngenta, you'll be growing food from One Acre Farm, name them, Apollo. You see, the day they stop supplying food, your seeds, you will be out of food also. So the only way to attain food sovereignty is seed sovereignty. The farmers need to own the seeds. The farmers need to have legal ownership of the lands they live in. These meetings, as I said, help our farmers to understand that the struggles are the same. During these meetings, we exchange seeds. If you come to this homestead, you'll see some of the seeds that come from Baringo, for example. So we believe that in this our struggle against chemical pesticides, building homestead partnership, cluster-to-cluster partnerships. The focus of KPL now in this struggle is empowering the youth at the homestead level.
Seed company will be working with the government. Omiye gi miluongo ni ongo. Kosemiye mondo oyud chance mondo odhi us ang'owa, mondo us kothe ne jopur. Government odhi wuoyo gi jopur. Bana gima ne timore. Kosewuoyo gi jopur to o convince gi molombo gi wach. Bang' mano omiye gi gimiluongo ni fertilizer. Fertilizer no oting'o gimiluongo ni GMO. Ne wan gimiluongo ni seed failure. Ok ne gidhi maber, nok ginyak. Koro bang' mano ma koro ka jo KPL osebiro to meke gi ka odhi motimore nade, otimo maber. Mane gima nwatemo nyiso. Viva KPL, viva! Viva!
Kenya Peasant League, we have a policy of establishing household seed banks, cluster seed banks, and national seed banks. And the reason why we are doing this is, first of all, we want to ensure that the seeds are available with the farmers. So each and every farmer must be able to save their own seeds in their households, and then a collection of the seeds in the households are kept at the cluster. First of all, you are fighting climate change. The process of producing industrial seeds is fossil fuel intensive, and therefore it contributes to climate change. Again, the miles taken to transport those seeds from overseas to Kenya also is emitting emissions, and that's why we are making this movement of making household seed banks and cluster seed banks is a way of fighting climate change.
Koro gin ging'ado ni ok gichak giti gi kothe mag ang'o maka sirikal nikech gin oyuma. Koro mano emomiyo wamedo tielo kendo wamedo wacho matek ni wati gi kothewa wawegi mwang'eyo ni kothewa makato kwa pidho ka.
Already an kaka ball ne an called in my seed bank. This is just a portion of what I have in my seed bank.
It is a co-activity within KPL to do seed exchange right from household level to cluster level and even to the national level. It is also one of the ways of ensuring that diversity is preserved. Through seed exchange, we keep seeds from one generation to another.
I'm proud in this group because the seeds, we get them, we don't buy them. It makes me to be financially stable.
The old one which we are practicing now is more better than that one nowadays, because these ones do sustain our body.
I plant cowpeas. It takes around 3 months to grow. After harvesting, I dry the seeds. I take the seeds and dry, and then we keep them for the next season.
We have seeds within our home. Whenever you want, you come to your neighbor. You get the type of the seed you want. So every home within this KPL group, everybody has got a bank at his home.
We get some knowledge how we can manage our crops and even the seeds, how we can keep our seeds safe for the next planting.
So all this information is going to be documented to ensure that now when somebody walks into this particular homestead, they're able to say, I want this variety of beans, I can get it from this particular farmer.
A full history of a particular seed, the full name, the source of the seed, the maturity time, how to plant it, the spacing, that is. With the commercial seeds, they don't provide such information to the farmers. They don't. All they do is to advertise the seed and say, well, this seed is good, and that is all. I inherited this from my grandmother, who also inherited this from her grandparents. I will also pass this to my children. These are seeds that have done better for ages.
Down with the chemical pesticide, down.
Down.
Down with the chemical pesticide, down.
Down.
Down with the chemical fertilizers, down.
Down.
Down with the chemical pesticide, down.
Down.
Viva KPL, viva!
Viva!
Viva KPL, viva!
Viva! It is also a way of ensuring what we call food sovereignty, or the rights of the farmers themselves to own the seeds and to have that right over the food that they eat, they produce and eat themselves. They come with lots of propaganda in dehumanizing the farmer seed system. They will always tell you, oh, when you plant the conventional seeds, the yield will be so high, which is not. We've done a lot of comparison work here. And the plots that have actually been planted using organic manure are doing far much better. And that's why I'm certain we as KPL are winning the war. We are on the right track. When we started, we were very few. But you see, the movement has since grown bigger.
We mama, inastahili tukue equal.
We have had many clusters getting formed day after day. The indigenous seeds getting in demand from a very wider population across Kenya, and not only in Kenya. So I can see there's a very big stride. We've made a very big stride. I'm very proud of that.